welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on Mixed Media Mayhem. We have a gorgeous inspiration layout that we are using to help us create our own layouts. I'm going to pop that up here in the corner for you. It is stunning. She uses 49 a Market product. I have pulled out my Vicki Boutin Discover and Create product, and I will also be pulling in a Bramble Fox stencil. I think I have another stencil that I'm going to pull out as well, and a piece of white cardstock that I haven't quite pulled out yet. I have a photo of my beautiful little granddaughter playing with some crayons. She is almost 2. She's about a month away from turning 2 in this photo. So I think this will be fun to scrapbook, and I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. We're going to start with that mixed media, and I will be right back. So first off, I'm going to take this Distress ink. It is Iced Spruce. Now, I will show you at the end of the video, and maybe one other time during the video, that I actually have a printed set of inks that Vicki Boutin herself used to match up ink colors for this collection, and that is why I chose the inks that I chose for this layout. She has a mix of Distress Oxide and Distress inks in the photo, and again, I'll show that to you at the end of the video. I got it from her Facebook community group. So what you've seen me do is I noticed underneath that actual cluster of embellishments on the left side that she had some ink smooshing and some splatters, and so I did that as well. So I pulled out my Bramble Fox stencil. It's a sunburst stencil that I got when I was a member of their kit club, and I am going to go ahead and tape it down to my layout, and I showed you the inks there, and I'm going to do some stenciling with this. Now, on the original layout, it is actually a 49 a Market rub-on. I probably have that set of rub-ons, maybe. I know I bought the collection, but I don't remember if I bought the rub-ons to go with it. And so anyway, I wasn't using that collection because it's not the color palette that I needed for this photo. So I'm taking, I believe that was Stormy Sky that I pulled, and then this is Milled Lilac or something along that lines, and I am just going to mimic her rub-on with my stencils. So the other thing that you're going to see me do here is I'm going to tuck my text stencil in underneath my sunburst stencil. I have done this before. It is fun to layer stencils in this way. There is some little bit of text on her rub-on, and so this is my way of mimicking the text. I think I'm using Uncharted Mariner for the text. And then I am going to go ahead and bring in these pieces of chipboard, and I did not zoom out properly, and I am sorry. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing fairly well. I pulled out, I believe that is peeled paint, and I'm using some water and a paintbrush to just get it onto this matte chipboard from the Discover and Create collection. Now, I could have used ink to product method, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't cover up the doodles that came on those pieces of chipboard. You could also use acrylic paint if you don't like the doodling, and that would probably mostly, if not completely, cover all of it. So I'm just going to use these 2 chipboards to build that bit on the side. So my next little thing that I'm going to do is I realized after I'd already glued down my mixed media page to my pattern paper that she had 2 little cutout parts on her layout that I didn't make room for. I will advise you that if you're going to copy her layout, do this first before you glue it down to your background paper, because it was a little bit difficult to get the area that I wanted. And so I just went ahead and I rolled up those edges. And again, I am sorry, I did not zoom out like I should have. So this picture is a picture of my granddaughter. I said that at the beginning. And you will notice that I put a pencil mark for where I wanted that photo to land. I kind of lifted it up so that it was underneath where I wanted it, so that I could cover it without erasing it. Because sometimes when you do mixed media ink on a background and you cover a pencil mark, it doesn't come off. So I did that with intention. Now these are washi stickers that are in one of the packs of embellishments from Discover and Create. It has some very, very thin die cut pieces and some washi stickers. The washi stickers are quite fun. I like those. They are a little hard to get an edge up off the background piece, but that's okay. I do get them off without ripping them, and that was my biggest worry, was ripping them. Currently going through the sticker book, because I know that I want a label and I want to decide which pack that I wanted. So here is where I start doing some additional tucking. I adore that die cut right there. It is really, really cute. I like that it's in a pot and I can kind of stick it out the side, and it brings in that purpley blue color that is in the collection towards the left-hand side of my layout. And now I am tucking in those chipboard pieces that I colored in the video, and that pretty much does it for that cluster that I am building there. Now I'm going to work on the title, and this was in the chipboard pieces for this collection. And I really wanted to use this vellum piece that says every picture tells a story, and it ends up getting left out, I do believe. It would have been a perfect little sentiment, but instead I pull out this little die cut piece, favorite little something, I can't read it, and there's enough space on the bottom that I can do a little bit of journaling. I knew that I wanted to use a paintbrush or something artistic-y up at the top of that photo, and so I chose a paintbrush. There weren't any crayons in this kit. I believe that is either Color Rush or Sweet Rush or Color Study that has crayons in it, and that wasn't the collection I was using. Those colors are different from this, so I skipped that. But the paintbrush, it's still an artistic thing. Now I'm going to cut one of these little banner pieces, and I'm going to use that. Initially, I was going to use it on the paintbrush, and I think that's where I stick it first. I move that later, and you'll see what I do. Right now, my photo is moving around too much. The glue has not adhered. I will have to make sure that it sets before I put this layout away, but I moved my title piece back down so that you can see all of it. And then I decided that I wanted to go ahead and add this other floral washi tape sticker, just to put in some more color on this layout. I'm going to move my title around to make room for that. And here is where I'm playing with the position of that little phrase banner that I had. Next, I am opening a sticker pack. I bought the sticker book. I don't always buy American Craft sticker books, but lately those things have been amazing. And so I bought them, and I'm going to use that to journal. She had a phrase in that location on her layout. I'm going to use it as a journaling spot instead. And so I moved my phrase down underneath my title, and I decided that that works really well. What you cannot see me doing right here is I'm taking one of those die cut butterflies. They were in there's a line of 3, and I'm cutting them apart. And I believe I used 2 of the 3 from that die cut, but this is just an example of me making my die cuts work in the way that I want. I could have absolutely left them in a line of 3, but it's not what I really wanted. I wanted a couple of butterflies on here fluttering off the page, and so I chose those 2. I believe I come in with a third one later. And again, you cannot see what I'm doing at the top. I apologize. I have put a heart in that cutout section of my top of my layout, and then there's going to be a piece of greenery, which I have not pulled just yet. I'm kind of digging through the stuff that I pulled to play with in this collection to see what I wanted to stick up in there. And I end up with a die cut that I cut into pieces, and I tuck some of it on the top and I tuck some of it on the bottom. Right now I'm playing with the puffy stickers, and I'm going to add some hearts on here. I don't think there were hearts on the original layout, and that's fine. I wanted the added little heart elements on my page. And as I've mentioned before, when I do stuff like this, I use like enamel dots or these tiny puffy stickers as placeholders so that it will tell me where I want things to be glued down. All right, I finally zoomed out so you can see all the things that I did fully on the layout. On the original layout, she had some doodling around the outside edge, and I decided to do some wonky stamping. I'm going to use this piece of packaging from a Hip Kit Club set of enamel dots or puffy dots or something as a mask so that I don't get it in places that I'd rather it didn't get. And I am leaving room to go all the way around the border with the stamps. So this set of stamps is from Delusions, and it has another set of heart stamps that are going, they're up and down. They're not words are hard. They go, they're in a line up and down, where these are in a line horizontal. So I will use that stamp when I get to that part, so that it just looks like I went all the way around with some stamps, which is what I did. Now, I mentioned that these are wonky, and that is intentional. If I had wanted clear stamping, I would have done this first, and that was not what I was going for. This is a mixed media layout. I like wonky. So here's the other stamp that is a vertical stamp, a vertical line of hearts, and I'm going to use it to go down the side. And again, I'll still use the mask if I need it, like right here. That way I don't overlap my stamps, because that would be silly. And anyway, I used Seedless Preserve for this color, and it kind of brings out that darker purple that ended up on the right hand side of my photo and in the heart in the top left. And so that just kind of ties together the colors that I have chosen for this layout. I am pretty happy with the way things are turning out, including my wonky stamping, which makes me happy to be stamping on a layout like this. So hopefully you agree. It's okay if you don't, though. Next up, I'm covering my photo, and I'm going to add some splatters. Now, I will be wiggling my table a little bit, which causes my light to flicker, and unfortunately, there's really nothing I can do about that. My paintbrush wasn't super clean, so as you can see, when I did that blue, I ended up with more green on the mat, and that's okay, because when I flicked it with the paintbrush onto the background, it still looks blue enough. And the green is in the color palette anyway, so it works. Notes: clean your paintbrushes a little bit better, Tara, because you might not want to mix colors next time. So I also opened my Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide spray that I keep on my dress to add some gray splatters as well. And then I'm going to open up that Uncharted Mariner spray. I used that at the beginning while the background was still wet, and I didn't like how it was spreading across the wet background, so I stopped. All right, I got my layout completely finished. You saw I added some splatters to my finished layout. I covered up my photo, of course, and most of my journaling so that it wouldn't get on those, but I like how this turned out. I did give it my own spin by doing some wonky stamping. Yes, I know those images are not crisp and clear, and I am good with that. If I had wanted crisp, clear images, I would have A, used a different kind of ink, and B, I would have used probably my Misty or something else to get an even stamp. But I wanted that wonky look because she put some doodling around her layout, and I don't have very many colored markers anymore. They are all gone or all dried up, so I was just trying to use my stamps and inks in place of that. These inks, I know that I showed you the little photo I have. This was on, or is on, Vicky Booten's Facebook community group. These are the inks that she said matched this collection. So I printed out the photo and I'm keeping it with my collection so that I will remember that. I'm not going to remember it. And since the work is already done for me, I totally appreciate that. You did see that I made my embellishments kind of work for me by cutting and tucking and sometimes even going as far as ripping them so that they fit where I wanted them to on this layout. I do want to thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe. It will always be free to subscribe to these channels on YouTube, so please feel free to do that. You do help grow my channel, which is important. So I do appreciate that. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.